Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Ask Rad and Friends. And today I have one of the people that I love most in the sphere of the spiritual world. Absolutely, without question, one of the things that's been so magical for me to become a Hay House author is to get to have my mentors, my teachers, the people who I looked up to and learned from to become dear friends. And no one fits that explanation quite as much as the wonderful and amazing Denise Linn. So I'm super excited to have you here with me today and super excited to have you in my life. And if you could see my copy of Sacred Spaces, you would send me a new one because it's worn out. So welcome, Denise Linn, to Ask Rad and Friends.
I am so happy to be here with my aloha outfit on.
You are totally ready for mystical connections at the end of the month.
Right.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So I just was like, I'm so happy to have you here. And I know I gush over you all the time. I just kind of can't help it because you are a hero to me, and you are someone who really is legit. You walk your talk, and you are who. Anytime anybody asks me about you, I'm like, she is exactly who you think she is. And I mean, has that been a challenge in the spiritual teacher world to stay true to yourself, or did that just come naturally, or how does that fit into your career?
Well, first of all, you are as much a hero to me as you say I am to you, because I love the way you love. And to me, the merit of the human being is how deeply and fully they love. And I don't mean gushing love. I mean, for me, love, what I call love, is the unconditional acceptance of another. Mm-hmm. And you do this to a T. No matter what a person's background has been, whether they've had rough times or hard times or beautiful times, no matter what they come from, my experience of you is you're just present with them. And that, for me, that kind of unconditional acceptance of I see you, that for me is inspiring. So I am honored by your words for me, but what I was feeling as you were saying those, but that's Radley, because that's what you bring to the world, and I love that.
Thank you.
And you asked me about the spiritual. First of all, I never call myself a spiritual teacher. I don't feel like a spiritual teacher. I feel like I just share what worked for me, and I change my mind because sometimes something that worked for me 10 years ago doesn't work for me anymore, and that's okay. So I love the fact that people enjoy what I share about the things that work for me. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Well, I think that sometimes it can be challenging, I think, for some people to remain in their authenticity when their name starts to become more known. But I haven't felt that challenge yet, but I'm not as known as you are, and I know that I look at you and see you living in your authenticity, but it sounds like that just comes naturally to you.
Well, I do know some people who do not walk their talk. And right. I remember there was this one guy, and I was so cranky with him. Like, how can you be teaching this way and living this way? And he goes, Denise, I signed up to teach it. I didn't sign up to live it. And I'm like, oh.
Oh my goodness.
But the great thing about being willing to show your bumps, all of them, right, is then you don't have to hide anything. Right. Someone who doesn't show their dark times as well as their light times, they got something to hide. But if you're just willing to say, yeah, this is who I am not perfect by far. I'm still on the path. See, the way I look at it is I feel like we all have our cosmic shoelaces attached. And one day my foot might be, ahead of yours, but the next day your foot's ahead of mine. And I just think we're all in it together. There are some people, okay, Dalai Lama, spiritual teacher, but I have the opportunity with lots of the famous spiritual teachers, and honestly, they're all human. Like some of them are way human. And, I just think we're all each other's teachers.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Because that's one of the things. In fact, it's like in my newest book, I have this whole section that's about don't put me on a pedestal because people fall off pedestals. And besides, I'm afraid of heights. But it's like don't do anything like that with me, because it's like I'm just telling you basically what you said. I'm just telling you what I believe, and if it resonates with you, then yay, and if it doesn't resonate with you, then also yay, because you now know something about, oh well, what he said, that's not right for me, and so you've got another piece of the puzzle of where you're supposed to be walking, what part of the beach you're supposed to be walking on next to that cosmic ocean. I just made that all up right then.
I like it. Oh.
Analogy, I just created it.
Here's the other thing I've noticed about, and it was perfect. I like that because I'm afraid of heights. But the cosmic ocean, I like that part too. But here's what I think often happens is here's the student, here's the teacher, and students love to idolize their teachers. And then what happens is they start to grow and they get here. Oh, now you can see my hand. Okay, here. So they put the teacher here, they get here, and then they go, wait a minute, you are no better than me. And that's the truth. You are no better than me. Yeah. But then some teachers get all upset, like, what do you mean? I'm the grand hoopah. And then it's mucky. But a good teacher says, use me as a stepping stone. And that's a great teacher. A great teacher is a stepping stone. A teacher who will only let the students get right here. I'm trying to look at that's not a great student in my book, a great teacher. A great teacher is a stepping stone for his or her students to go beyond them. When people say, oh, well, I've met the teacher and the students, they're all better. I think great teacher, they say it as an insult to the teacher. I think if the teacher's students are better than them, clearer than them, that means that teacher did a good job. So that's me on my I don't know, soap opera.
Yeah,
soap opera. Soapbox.
I would watch you on a soap opera. That'd be interesting. I love grand hoopah. That is my new word.
You never heard that word before, the grand hoopah?
No.
Grand hoopah means like, maybe I made it. I make up words all the time, and then I think they're real words. And my daughter's she was an English major as well as other things, and she got her master's degree at Columbia in English, and she's like, Mom, that is not a word. Oh, it is a word. And she goes, no, it's not a word. But I think if any of your listeners have ever heard of grand poopah, poopah.
No, there's gray poupon, but that's different.
I think it's like in the Middle East, the head hoopah,
Head hoopah.
Sure. I have to say, we had some really bad fires around here a few months ago. And since the fires, my brain is not the same. I am saying really stupid things. I forget things. I feel like somehow, I know it's been hard. And it feels like I can't wait to get back on even keel. It feels like I'm off keel. Right. Our home was fine, but our land looks like a tree cemetery. So far, we have cut down about 17,000 trees. Like, that's a lot of trees.
That's a lot of
trees.
Yeah,
that's a lot of trees.
For those who are not aware, Denise's home was in literally the eye of the storm of one of the fires that happened during the summer in California. And her home was absolutely, without question, angelically protected. She had a dear, beloved pet that was inside the home, and a fireman who made it his goal, which we should check up to make sure he even exists and that he wasn't actually just an angel embodiment, right? And the man would come and leave food and water for the cat and seal up the house, and so the cat was protected and was safe and was there when Denise got back home. But it was definitely a time of great challenge, a time of great anxiety to watch these fires encircle her home, and yet, a life given in service, Denise. I mean, a life given in service, and the universe gave back and just put this bubble right over your home and your beloved Muse, right?
Yeah, wow, you've got a good memory. Yeah, Muse is our cat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kept them safe, but there is still the PTSD, if you will, of having gone through an experience like that.
I didn't, going into it, I would have never, like people, we had a few fires, some big fires a few years ago, and people said it takes a year, even people that didn't lose their home. And I'm thinking, well, if you didn't lose your home, what's the big deal? And when I look at the symptoms of PTSD, it's kind of what I have. And the fire came up to our house on 4 sides, and we're fine, our cat's fine, our animals are fine, the house is fine, but I still feel off balance. And a friend said, Denise, it takes a year. And she had the same thing. The fires went right up to her home, and she said it took her a year to get back on course. So not that I'm pre-programming myself, but that's an excuse because not knowing how to say the grand poobah. Poobah. Yeah, fires, I would know how to say the grand poobah.
I know that. I am 100% certain that is true.
Somebody out there knows how to say the grand poobah, right?
I'm sure.
So we got something substantive here, something of value.
Okay.
Let's hear some.
Let's tell them then about what's coming up. So if you are looking for a spiritually enriching event, one is coming up. And I am proud and honored to be a part of this event. It's called Mystical Connections. And it's coming up in Hawaii the end of this month. And it is myself, the lovely Denise Linn, the hilarious Colette Barron-Reed, the amazing Kyla Gray, and the
Good.
Thank you. I've been practicing. And the deeply insightful Alan Cohen. So I'm super excited about this event. I mean, if you've got the opportunity to be in Maui, October 27th and 28th, it's a 2-day event, unlike any other that Hay House has ever thrown. And it's going to be angels and mystics and shamans. Oh my. And so, if you're interested in something like that, then you definitely should check it out. You'll find posts and links to that on my Facebook page, my website. I'm sure Denise's pages have those things, or you can just go to hayhouse.com and you can find out more information about that. But somebody says the Grand Poobah is a term derived from the name of the haughty character Poobah in Gilbert and Sullivan's The Mikado.
Yes, I knew there was a poo. How's it pronounced? Poobah?
Poobah. Grand Poobah.
Yes. Whoever that was, thank you. I knew there was a Poobah somewhere in the universe.
There it is. And this may very well be the most important thing that we had to share with these people today.
Okay, I do want to say one thing about the Maui event. Only that I lived in Hawaii for many years. I went to the University of Hawaii as my college education. And from a spiritual, mystical point of view, the veil is thinner in Hawaii than it is in a lot of places. You'll find the same thing in Bali, for example. Mm-hmm. And it's easier to have those experiences that are outside of time and space, mystical experiences, if you are aligned. Because in Western culture, where the collective unconsciousness for generations has been very left brain, it's more difficult. But the Hawaiian culture still has permeated the land so deeply that I'm looking forward to magic, because when we are all together, we're going to create a frequency that will make it so much easier to hear the menahunis. Those menahunis are the little elf people, to connect with the spirit of the land in ways that are not always available in other places in the world. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Well, sweetheart, why don't you tell people where they can connect with you, where they can find you? And of course, we will post links within this video back to Denise. But what's your favorite way of telling people to find you?
Usually it's Facebook, and I apologize. I haven't been posting very much. It's like this. I've got fire brain, but
Right.
normally that's even where my daughter connects with me. Is I love my Facebook community, and so many of those people sent prayers to our home, and I think in no small way it was those prayers that kept our home safe. So I love my clan. So that's really the best way to reach me.
Okay, and so
And normally
I'm sorry, what?
normally I'm there. I just haven't been there, since the fire very much.
No worries, baby girl. So we'll put a link inside this video so that you can sign up to make sure that you are following the illustrious Grand Poobah, Denise Linn. In the meantime, this has been Ask Rad and Friends. I hope you guys will tune in again. I won't be on next week because I'll be with
Yay!
in Hawaii. So thanks so much for tuning in. I'll be back in a couple of weeks. Love you guys, and I love you, Denise. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Bye-bye. From one Poobah to the other.